I'd like to take a moment to read a comment from a listener. This was posted by Brian on Friday, January 27, 2006. Calling cryonics patients dead is getting hung up on labels. Cryonics is based on the presumption that cryonics patients are not dead in the absolute meaning of the word, but only legally dead inasmuch as contemporary medicine can do no more. If it ever becomes physically possible to revive a cryonics patient, that will merely confirm the cryonics hypothesis, which is that the criteria used to pronounce death today are primitive and incorrect. The patient will never have really died, primitive labels notwithstanding. They will have been in a long coma. The theological question is ultimately the same as the medical question, which is simply, can cryonics physically work? P.S. Interesting show. Thank you, Brian. If you are a regular listener to this program, you have probably noticed that I like to use the word dead a lot. Possibly this is the writer in me shining through. To a writer, dead is a beautiful word. It starts with a hard consonant, ends with a hard consonant, and is only one syllable long. A good hearty Anglo-Saxon word, just like its brother, that nasty little word that starts with an S that everyone loves to say on TV these days, presumably in the hope it will make them sound cool and very much in your face. But to clarify my use of the word dead in referring to cryopreserved people, let me say very clearly that I think of cryopreserved people as being dead only in the sense that they are not alive. I define alive as a complicated chemical process which allows a physical object, in this case a human being, to grow, reproduce, repair damage to itself, and actively avoid additional damage through evasive action. The cryopreserved, being chemically inert, do none of these things, and so are dead. Their deadness is undeniable. However, that is not to say that it is irrevocable, irreversible, or must be considered permanent. I am convinced that the steady march of technological progress that we are witnessing today will eventually allow us to wake these dead. I am also convinced that this is not a possibility, but an inevitability. However, waking them up someday doesn't make them any less dead now. Granted, in the short term, it might make it easier to market cryonics to the uninitiated if we invent some kind of word that means not all the way dead, or only temporarily dead, or maybe just take our cue from beer commercials and call them dead light. But the long-term answer will arrive of its own. Once the populace observe over and over that the frozen dead are awakened and walking among them, they will understand fully, and without any further prompting, that dead doesn't always have to mean forever.